Hello, my name is Marcus. I'm the compiler of a collection of therapy quotes entitled 1001 Windmills of the Mind, a collection of advanced self-help quotes taken from what's often called the psychodynamic or the psychoanalytic perspective, which long ago, as I understand it, was referred to by some as philosophical medicine or narrative medicine, helping one, as one shrink recently put it, get our soul back, get it back to where it belongs, in our body, so we can feel embodied, at home within, real within, alive within, our sense of beingness, our ontological self, our feeling self, our emotional body. We're meant to come, and we're meant to live from this beingness quality of being embodied. The feminine principle, the feminine element, the midnight blue, Lou Graham calls it, the yin, the shakti, this beingness. The Velveteen Rabbit, asks the basic question: what does it mean to feel real and alive? That's the issue with trauma. When the baby's traumatized, and one metaphor is the pin goes in the collar, you personify the beingness, the aliveness of the beingness, the beauty of a person's beingness, make it a princess. The princess morphs into a swan. We got it there? Oh, here he is. Oh, there's the soul. We found the soul. There's the maiden king. So the princess morphs into a swan, flies away, and then we're missing our beingness. Or the princess is in a coma in a box like Snow White. Or the princess is locked in a tower like Rapunzel. How's the audio working out here? I'm experimenting with this new audio. The song you're hearing in the background is by the singer Ely Sapi off her excellent album called Traveling Love, one of her tunes on that album. So I'm mainly interested in the opening riff. It's a good song, but I quite like the opening riff. Again. Hello, so let's continue with our introduction here. We have 10,000 advanced quotes here in our collection. 10,001 advanced quotes for your consideration to help you get back your swan. Okay, we're gonna see it like that. So in the Maiden King fairy tale, Robert Bly and Marion Woodman did a whole TV special, like a 6-series TV special, just featuring that fairy tale. Unfortunately, it's not available. Somebody complained. It's discontinued. Can't find it. No DVDs, no copies. It was on a cable channel like for a while. I looked for it myself. Some company named Applewood produced it, but they've gone kaput. So where are those tapes? It was on TV. Somebody must have copied it. Anyways, but they wrote a book as well called The Maiden King, and it's about the image. It's about the image of our psychological trauma, emotional trauma, where the beingness personified as a princess who had to fly away, so it turned into this bird and flew away kind of thing. Or, as just mentioned behind the music, Snow White in a coffin, Rapunzel in the tower. Echo turns to a statue. That's a graphic one when the soul turns to stone like that. Jesus Christ. And this motif can take a variety of forms. The feeling side of the beingness is the golden ball, the radiance and the warmth and the vibrancy of the golden ball. The golden ball goes down the well. In Inside Out films, the Joey Sanders character represented flew away. Then you went back to the survival limbic system of fear, anger, distress, shame, anxiety, ennui, envy, all that kind of disturbed area of anger around your not getting your needs met. We're meant to be embodied. We're meant to we live to the extent that we feel, says Karen Horney, one of our mentors. We live to the extent that we feel this embodiment, having a sense of self, authentic self, having a sense of our real authentic self. That's called embodiment. Kirsten Wilson says, if you're not in your body, you're not making sense, literally. And it's disembodied discourse that causes all the problems and nonsense and the devastation we see out there. Destroying the planet for a quick buck doesn't make sense. While in our greed, we're greedy. We have the hope that by being greedy, it'll register to receiving mother's love in the past, because that part of the brain doesn't know time, so we're in an infinite loop like this. But there is time. But the force of the unconscious says, it's the baby saying, I need mother, where's mother? So that turns into greed later on, insatiable greed. But later on, it's only images or mirages of mother, symbols of mother, or what you think should be mother, could be mother, because you're still grasping for mother, but mother's not there because there is time. So you just make up something. Well, maybe that's mother. Maybe that's mother. Food, cookies, ice cream, wine, spirits, alcohol, spirits. Maternal spirit, alcoholic spirit, maternal sweetness. Well, what about tiramisu sweetness? Um, material matter. What about money and things? Could that be mother? So both those things aren't mother, but we've got this push to look for mother in that part of the brain that doesn't know time. So it just translates to finding something you make up, and you don't tell yourself. You don't want to know that it's not mother. You got to believe it's mother because you got to find mother's love. So the goal, so the way out of this is called mourning. The way out of this, and to get back to Swan, is he still there? Where'd he go? There he is. To get the swan, to get the soul back, and the way out of this, we want to get the soul back. Right? I'm sweating out here already. Jeez, my regular spot with the fan is taken, and I thought I'd just try my luck to see if I could do it outside. It's still pretty hot here. I'm sweating already. Jeez, there'll be a few. I need to take a few little mini breaks here. Let's play the song here. I'll be back in a minute. Don't know what to say. I felt the earth move, gotta wake up soon. I felt the earth move, time to fly away. Tell me one thing worth fighting for. So much to say, what does it really mean? Sometimes you have to fight in your own world, but I felt the earth move, don't wanna fight no more. Boom boom in my heart. Typical love song. She fell in love with a guy, but they're arguing all the time. Why are they arguing? She felt shaken, felt in love. Wow, But why are we arguing? I don't want to argue. Why are we arguing? Let's stop arguing. Typical kind of thing. So we just completed a 3-video special run on a book entitled "Why We Pick the Mates We Do." Love is not at first sight. Love is at second sight. So that topic, we discussed it from 29:41 to 3. A very good stretch there, I thought. 29:41 to 3. I think 49:41 was done in 2 parts. I think that's a good stretch of quotes from a very good book called "Why We Pick the Mates We Do" by Miss Anne Teachworth, about the imprint. You role model yourself after one of your parents, and when you grow up, you choose how they chose. Then you find someone else to play the other parent. So you're back there like that. And if it was dysfunctional if your parents are dysfunctional, you'll recreate it. So you play one of the parents and find someone else to play the other role, and you're arguing like the way your parents were arguing. So you want to update and role play an imaginary healthy parents in your mind. Role play healthy parents. Pretend your parents were healthy and role play them, and then you can come from that kind of place, and the other person does that kind of thing. So that's a whole topic like that. Um, So she says, "Oh yeah, love at first sight. Just one look. That's all it took." Yesterday's song. Just one look. That's all it took. So that's like somebody in the present is a catalyst or symbol or simply a reminder, like a triggering phenomena, a triggering mechanism. It just reminds you of the past where you felt the blissful time with the mother before you were traumatized. So that person reminds you of the mother like that, and you feel the blissful part of it, and you transfer that blissful part to the person in the present, and you think, "Oh, you're the one, you're the one." Spellbound, love trance. That's love at first sight, but love is blind at the same time. But it's love at first sight. Um, it's kind of ironic. She says, if we know love is blind, why do we believe in love at first sight? You know, well, you're not really in love with that person. You're just triggering up the blissful feeling you had with the mother. The mother lays down circuitry, and embedded in that memory is the blissful feeling that babies feel with the mother in the beginning. In the uterus, it's bliss. Shortly afterwards, well, there's meant to be bliss, but that might be lost at birth. So, anyways, if somebody reminds, so that's unfinished business, unresolved business with the mother. So you find somebody who reminds you of the mother, and then that triggers up where you left off, so to speak. Now you're back in the blissful state, which you forgot, but it's brought up now, and you feel this blissful feeling which you had originally. Nothing new, it just brought up something old kind of thing. And then, oh, you say to the person, but um, I love you, you're perfect. Now, please change. Let's resume development. Please invent a time machine. Take me back to the past and don't traumatize me. Undo that and correct and let me resume development. Doesn't make sense. So you're disappointed. Now you're angry. Well, that anger, okay, you chose that person to know that you were angry at your mother. We recreate to know the past. We recreate in an attempt to remember the past. We don't remember the past. So we recreate, repeat until we remember, then we stop repeating. That's Mr. Freud's most famous essay, right? Memory repeating, working through. We don't remember the trauma. But the body remembers somatic memories. The body keeps the score. The body remembers. Every body tells a story. It's recorded in the body. It's procedurally known, implicitly known, kind of. It's kind of known like that, and it's just it's in a timeless spinning around loop of the trauma. And this trauma we repeat. Baby wanted love, mother said no. Baby wanted love, mother said no. It's the body kind of records this neural circuitry, and the brain body like okay. So then, um, okay, so to stop this repeating, we got to make it conscious. Oh, then we calm down. Then our life force. We forgive the parents, understand the parents. They were impaired. They couldn't love. They were impaired. They didn't have the ability to love because they didn't have a beingness to love. So we kind of get some understanding. But then we realize reasonably, okay, well, mother was unable to love. Why am I still searching for it? Looking for copies of her. That doesn't make sense. Then you admit that you didn't get a loving mother. You admit that you weren't loved properly, improperly loved. You admit that you didn't get the loving mother that you should have got, received. And then that's called mourning. And then when you do that mourning kind of thing, natural response to knowing the truth, you got to call a spade a spade. Mother didn't love you. Got to call a spade a spade. I'm not blaming her. We're just saying she was impaired and she didn't have the ability to love because she didn't have the psychic structure to love. The psychic structure needed for a mother to love her baby is what's called differentiation, i.e., having a beingness, having the swan in her, having the swan image, having the maiden king with him. The mother didn't have the maiden king. That was what that show was about. In the book, they talked about that TV series about a lot of people talking about, yeah, my mother didn't have the maiden king. Yeah, my father didn't have the maiden king, meaning the beingness, and your doing comes from the beingness. The maiden is the feminine principle, the beingness. The king is a metaphor for like the doing, nothing to do with gender. So the masculine principle, the masculine element, whatever, that just, I don't know, it's very misleading and confusing. It just means the act of doing behavioralism, just like what you do. But you want your doing to come from your being. Maiden, being, king. The being is the king. The being is there. Then the doing from the being is ethical, moral, virtuous, natural. Then it's normal like that. You need your beingness, and the doing comes from the beingness, or simply said, heart-informed behavior, heart-informed actions, heart-led actions, like the being-led actions. Maiden, king. Okay, maiden, feminine, king, masculine. The masculine is ethical and moral when the beingness is there. If the beingness is not there, you're not making sense anymore because then your doing is whacked. Wilson says, yeah, if you don't have your beingness, you're not making sense anymore. Woodman says, if the feminine is wounded, the masculine is distorted. That's her line. I'm kind of hoping for that. Uh, there's a romantic couple sitting in my usual spot, all lovey-dovey and all that, drinking wine in my normal video. In the place where I do the video normally, right now as I speak, there's a couple hugging and kissing and all that, drinking wine. So they're having a romantic moment in my very spot. So that's really the only spot where I can get the fan at the cord. Um, that's where the outlet is, where I can have a fan so I can do the video outdoors. It's still pretty hot, even though it's a little cooler. Everybody's indoors. So the outdoor part is usually available during the week if there's no special function or event. So I'm kind of waiting for them to, I don't know, get drunk and leave or something. um, um, it's possible they might kind of linger there for a while. So I'll see. This is the new experiment to do it here. I don't want to do it here because this is sort of like right by the main um, the main restaurant, just to my side there. So I try to. I like the corner because I'm not bothering anybody, kind of thing. How's the swan? Are we still around here? Oh, there he is. Hold on a sec.
I felt the earth move, damage has been done. I felt the earth move, it tore you and me apart. I don't wanna fight no more. Don't wanna fight no more. No more. I don't wanna fight no more. Don't wanna fight no more. No more.
Okay. So yeah, that's right. So in healing, in recovery, we gotta call a spade a spade. You cannot heal if you BS yourself. You cannot heal if you deceive yourself. You think you can fool nature. You think you can fool the healing processes of nature. You think you're above it all, and you don't gotta respect your feelings. You gotta respect your embodiment. You gotta respect nature. You think you see that kind of arrogance. That's a defense mechanism. And the problem is it's addictive. It's addictive. Narcissism is addictive because that attitude that you don't need feelings, intellectualization, hyper rationalization, whatever you want to call it, okay, that is a defense against feeling. Okay? At the same time, the pain of not feeling creates this hyper rationalization, right? The pain of losing your feeling causes pain. And to get away from the pain, you engage in hyper rationalization, hyper intellectualization. And so it's all in your head. So the pin is in the collar, and the feelings are flat, flat affect. The jargon is alexithymia, no feelings for your words. No, sorry, alexithymia, uh, no feelings for your words. No, the original one is athymolexia, athymolexia, no feelings for your words. Yikes, your feelings are frozen. Remember? Petrified, turned to stone. Okay, wooden, where Velveteen Rabbit flew away. Up a tunnel, down a cavern where the light is never shown. The swan flew away, right? Rapunzel's in a coma. Sorry, Snow White's in a coma. The balls zooped away. It's lost. Joey and Sanders are lost deep in the limbic system, unconscious. You know, so what's left? You just feel flat like that. Um, and then that's a pain. So we numb the pain with intellectualizations, with beliefs. You make up all these um, ideas to um, to stimulate fantasies where you felt happy, but you forgot. So your infantile megalomania fantasies, okay, are kind of like a pathological nostalgia of the good old days of when you were a god in the uterus or a king and a god in the uterus. So the baby inside, he's in a blissful kind of place. So he's all important. The mother's him. He owns the mother. The mother belongs to him. Mother takes care of him. No, he takes care of himself. He's autocratic. He's important. Unconditional hallucinatory omnipotence. The megalomaniacal self, the idealized self, the glorified self, infantile megalomania. The baby thinks a god, a king, magic sorcerer. Has a thought, needs are met. He doesn't get it that the mother's feeding him, and there's a mother there who sends him the food and love and all that. He thinks, no, I don't know what it is, but that's a part of me. I do it myself. I'm a god. I'm so special. I'm so powerful. I'm infantile god. Okay. So the theory is that if there's a trauma um, prior to the time when a person develops out of that phase, post 18 months, they're trapped in the mirror. They're stuck in that mirror. So there's a pain. The pain prompts the person, the cortex. Hey, cortex, make me unaware of the pain. Give me some justifications. Give me some beliefs. Give me some excuses. Sour grapes kind of ideas. Give me these kind of made up things um, that push down the pain. Although at the same time, these beliefs make you unaware that it's the pain causing these beliefs, and you need these beliefs to be unaware of the pain while the pain is creating these beliefs. So you're trapped in this loop. You're trapped in this mirror, and you're dependent on these beliefs to not feel the pain. Okay, so these beliefs are all hyper rationalization, hyper intellectualization. You're all in your head, kind of thing. It's all in the head, right? So we're swirling around in this little dreamy kind of thing like this. You're just you're in your little fantasy kind of world like that. But it's addictive because these ideas swirling around, um, seems to have the effect to push down the feelings. That means you're denying the pain, and you want these beliefs to give you endorphins, the swoon, okay, the endorphins, the numbing, the swoon, the trance. You want to be hypnotized. So narcissism is a hypnotic thing. It is a hypnosis. So these swirling beliefs give you hypnosis. You're in a trance, sleepwalking through life, going through the motions of life. You're in a trance, so you believe you're a little king, a little god. Hypnosis, like as if a hypnotist said, "All right, I'm going to hypnotize you. You're a little god, okay? Okay. So you're going to walk around through life just thinking you're a little god, okay? Okay." And you just go through life thinking you're a little god, like, and you have these like you're detached from your feelings, so it's a defense mechanism. Let me refine. Let me improve on that one. On that point, I think I approached it from a different kind of way, a roundabout way. Um, I'm trying to blend in Janof's theory about the beliefs from his book called Beyond Beliefs, his final book before he passed away. Very good book called Beyond. Oh, can't. Still trying to figure out how to hold this phone without blocking the microphone. I'm using a real basic budget old phone, but really kind of a. I'm not even sure if you hear. The funny thing about this phone is it blocks background noises. Like you're not hearing the water behind me. Like there's a water there, but you're not hearing it, right? You see it, but you don't hear it, right? You don't even hear it. The funny thing about this phone. I'm still trying to get used to this budget phone. My regular phone went kaput on me. This was the regular phone I've been using for years and years. A great little phone, budget, handy, pocket kind of phone. Somebody called it a kid's phone. Light as a feather, fits in your pocket. Very thin, very easy to use. It suffered the elements, no special cover. We did, 1,200 videos were done, 10,000 quotes discussed, 3 continents, over 4 years, basically. Great little phone. I miss it immensely. They don't make these anymore. So it finally came to its end. I'm trying to see if I can save it by still using it as a music player. So if I plug in the battery part and plug in some kind of external speaker, maybe I can still use it as a music player. So that's just sort of experimenting. Long as long as life is too short, some Holy Spirit's buried in the earth, watching some more spirits needing to be heard. You and me don't want to fight no more. The road is long and life is too short. Some Holy Spirit's buried in the earth, watching some more spirits needing to be heard. You and me don't want to fight no more. I don't wanna fight no more. Don't wanna fight no more. No more. I don't wanna fight no more. Don't wanna fight no more. All right. They got 3 swans, by the way. Three souls. 3 lost souls found here. Lost and found. Where are we here? Let's pick up here and kind of tighten things up here a little bit, or clarify something here. So let's back up a sec. So the beingness, we mentioned the theory is that Robert Bly says, we're born with a 365-degree personality, this whole radiant beingness, embodied, full, round, 365, embodied, at home with them. Okay, wholeness, healing, and wholeness. We're born whole. We're born embodied. We're born with the beingness. Right? That's the natural state of affairs, to have this beingness. Now, the thing is, the baby needs a certain level of safety and a certain level of interaction with the mother to be able to have it and maintain it. It's not meant to be lost at birth. It's meant to maintain it. So the baby expects certain things with the mother. A, that there's no trauma in the uterus. B, that there's no trauma at birth. Okay, this often takes place If the cord and the placenta are removed, because the cord and the placenta link the baby to the mother, if you remove the cord, the placenta, where's he felt like he lost his mother. That's a betrayal. Mother left him. Mother abandoned him. Mother dumped him. Where are you, mother? He can't make it on his own. So from the pain of that, what's to do with the pain of that? Well, pin goes on the collar, soul, okay, flies away basically, and now he's numb, and now he's in his head. He's just swirling around with ideas all the time, and he's missing the feelings. He's missing the embodiment. Although there's a nice picture. There's a nice. But the soul's trying to get back. You see, he's trying to return. There's an innate drive for the soul to come back to us. You know. We get him in. Did I hold it? Did I hold it? Still there? Oh, there is somewhere. Oh, there he is. There he is. All right. Now the soul just comes on its own, right? The soul just on it. We don't kind of control that kind of thing, but we set it up and then create the conditions for its return. Um, so that's what we're talking about. How do we set it up? What things do we got to do to welcome the soul back? We got to say, welcome back, soul. The soul is watching us. Do you welcome me if I come back? Well, you don't have a net. You don't have any home for me. You don't have any understanding. You don't have any knowledge of. Gee, you're just going to hurt me again. Uh, so I'm not going to come back if you don't know what's going on anymore. So the soul will stay away. So we got to know what's going on for the soul to come back, to trust us again. You want your quote unquote inner child of the past to trust you again. He doesn't trust you anymore. He's kind of hiding, like that. So there's a lot of material about the things we got to do to make it safe for our soul to come back to us. It wants to come back. It's trying to come back. It's kind of knocking on the door, kind of, and but it's afraid at the same time. So, so in the Maiden King story, when the character resolved oppositional thinking, okay, um, that means you're gonna understand that with trauma, um, the wholeness is fragmented. Things are split up like that. That leads to either or thinking, oppositional thinking, adversarial thinking. So that implies the trauma during the time of survival for the baby. So splitting implies jungle slogans, survival slogans. Because what the baby does when he's hurt, he's enraged at the mother. Mother, you betrayed me. You abandoned me. You took me away from you. Oh my God. Where's the connection? Where's the safety? I froze up in you. I don't trust you. You're dangerous. You're a frightening monster now. Now his rage, he thinks the mother's enraged. How he feels, he thinks the mother feels. What he needs, he thinks the mother needs, because of the fusion and the oneness. There's no differentiation. So the baby is enraged and was in the oral phase. Well, the mother's enraged and is a gobbling, devouring monster that wants to gobble the baby up. No, that's just a picture of how the baby felt. He felt hungry, wanted to receive mother's goodness. So that image and need creates a picture of the mother like that. Thinks the mother's like that. Now the baby's relating to this monster. Okay, the boar queen, the cyclops, or the Wichonimi, okay, or the sea monster, alien, any kind of frightening entity that's enraged, wants to gobble up. That's just a picture code for how he felt. That's all it is, not real. See, that's within. That's the point of that for science fiction film, Forbidden Planet. This id monster, that's within. And then they materialize it outside for you and they explain that it's from within. They created science fiction to tell you that your feelings, it's going to manifest outside of you, and they're telling you that it's from within. The monster's from within, the beast is from within, it's all from within. And they're telling you that when you see it outside, they showed you like a Tasmanian monster devil kind of thing, the footprints in the sand, and showed you its outline. They want to tell you it's within. So if you have usually we say, oh, you have a conscious wish. Maybe a machine can make it happen. What if a special machine could make your unconscious wish happen? That's the point of the film. There was a special alien technology that would make your thoughts come into reality like that. Just some super science fiction alien race that were millions and millions of years ahead of us. and they had a machine that would materialize the thing you thought. But what they forgot about was it would also materialize what you unconsciously think. That's the whole point of the film, to point this out to you. So the guy Morbius, he was learning about this, and he could materialize his conscious thoughts, but he didn't know that his unconscious thoughts would be materialized. So when some guy messed with his daughter, he was really unconscious, and he didn't know really how angry he was unconsciously. So a monster came up to attack the guy, and when the other guys were interrupting his life, again those monsters came up to attack those guys. He didn't know it himself. He didn't consciously think that. He was a gentleman, polite guy, and all this scientist guy. Like he didn't like consciously, like he went along consciously with things, but unconsciously, his true deep feelings was, "Get out of here, guys! Leave me alone here. What are you bothering me for? I'm not bothering you. You're coming here. You're trying to take my. You're treating my daughter like this, and now you want to destroy my career, my life's work, um, and you want to like take my home away, kind of thing." So he was unconsciously very angry like this. So those monsters came up from the high tech alien planet machine. So Forbidden Planet, it's about like this big planet. It's a whole machine. The planet's like a machine made by these alien characters called the Krell or something. And so the Krell were very advanced. They wanted a machine to materialize their thoughts. They mastered quantum physics and all this stuff. So the energy waves, particles, whatever it is, and then they wanted to see materialize like that. So the point about the film, one points of the film was, children think that when they think something, it's real like that. Like when the baby thinks, "I want food," there's the food. He made it happen. Right? Like if the baby's nursing and the baby's uncomfortable, "Gee, mother, could you make an adjustment here? I'm not comfortable." And mother picks up the signal, makes the comfort. Oh, child made it happen. "Mother, give me a new diaper or something." And the diaper appears. The child thought he materialized it. He believes magical thinking. He had the thought, and it materialized. He thought he made it. Magical thinking, omnipotence of thought. So this science fiction idea was to teach you this theory that babies think they make everything happen. They create everything. They're responsible for everything. They do everything. Everything's about them. Okay? They don't see beyond the tip of their nose, kind of thing. So this planet machine will materialize your conscious thoughts. But the point of the film is to teach you, well, if it's going to materialize your thoughts, it's not just going to be your conscious thought. It's also going to be your unconscious thoughts. Hence the id monsters on the planet. So when the visitors came and they were messing things up, Morbius was enraged, but he didn't know it. Now he had a connection that the planet was a symbol for his unconscious, right? The planet was just a symbol of his unconscious. So the planet created the id monsters, meaning he felt enraged and wanted to push away those characters like that. So that's the point of the film, to teach you, i.e., if any kind of frightening paranoia kind of things, no, okay, it's within. If you don't know it's within, the tendency is to avoid the pain of knowing it's within. You say it's some external thing coming. No, it's not external. Okay, so those Tasmanian devil characters on the planet, they were materialized manifestations of within Morbius's unconscious mind, and the planet's that mind which creates it to make it so we the audience can see it. So I spent 3 videos. Go to the last 3 videos, three videos. I spent like an hour. I spent like 3 hours on the film Forbidden Planet. Interesting discussion. I have just finished it. I won't do it again here, but we just completed a very interesting discussion and some good quotes about the Forbidden Planet science fiction film, 1956 film, and I discussed various aspects of it fairly in depth. And then I discussed the follow-up, a very important follow-up 10 years after that, 1966, sort of a tribute follow-up to it by the Star Trek people, an episode entitled Requiem for Methuselah, like a 1 hour TV episode, kind of like a springboard from the Forbidden Planet. And they kind of added a little bit about the eternal love triangle issue. So they added the eternal love triangle. And the Requiem is the music about how we're traumatized. We've been traumatized for 6,000 years. In their version of it, it's 6,000 years. I've been saying 10,000. They say 6,000, whatever. So Requiem for our pain of being traumatized for the past 6,000 years. Because the guy on that planet, instead of Morbius, it was another guy called Flint. But he was the same person for 6,000 years, i.e., humanity for 6,000 years, and suffering from the pain of the eternal love triangle, meaning babies are losing the mother. At birth, they lost the mother. Cord and placenta removed, poof, mother's gone. Now what? You're missing the blissful oneness. So you're going to get it from the father? No. The father's supposed to be the mother for that? No. What a mess. And this mess is going to be transferred throughout your life. And it's been going on, this mess has been transferred on, like this pain of this mess has been going on for 6,000 years, whatever. Now, because of the pain of it, we're trying to, in our fantasy, find something to be a perfect mother in the past so we can leave the mother and connect with the father and develop and not use the father as another mother, use the father as the father, not the mother. So it's a developmental process. So in our attempt to find a perfect mother, we're inventing machines and scientific, so quote unquote material progress like that. But so for the time being, it looks appealing because we're inventing all this stuff. I got an iPhone here, I got a portable battery here. You're inventing all these things. It's fine. It's great. It seems, but if we keep doing this kind of inventing, you see, we're in this manic greed. Where's mother? Where's mother? We're plundering the planet. Invent. We're making machines more and more. Okay, this is the eternal triangle issue. We didn't get the oneness of the mother, so you're going to try to create something to give you the oneness of the mother. Now, Mr. Flint, he was in the process of doing that. He tried to, because he's 6,000 years old, had accumulated knowledge and all that. He was trying to build a perfect robot mother. He was trying to build a mother out of a robot who would be perfect for him. They called it the perfect woman or something, meaning the mother. And he's timeless, she's timeless, so that's code for the timelessness, the baby and the mother and the blissful timelessness. The unconscious has no time, so they were always talking about timelessness. He's timeless and she's timeless like that. So he was looking for the mother. It didn't work. No machine can be the mother. And then Kirk, the Star Trek, the Spock and Kirk and all, they come on. And just one look. That's all it took. Whoa, just one look. Kirk sees the robot, falls in love, says, be mine. Father, get out. Mother, mine. He wanted the oneness. He wanted the mother because the robot was the perfect woman. Kirk wanted the perfect woman. He wanted mother. And Mr. Flint said, well, I've been at this for 6,000 years. Get out of here. No, it's mine. Now the two guys were fighting like this and very embarrassing like this. Now the poor robot was freaked out by this and collapsed. Her circuits overloaded. It collapsed kind of thing. That's code for how we emotionally collapse inside. That's a symbol that we emotionally collapse inside. The pin goes inside, the wreckage is within, flies away. So she's kind of a goner like that. So the conclusion was the eternal love triangle. Okay, Mr. Flint, for 6,000 years, was looking for the oneness that he missed. And then he saw a young version of Kirk, was just like an example of that, like a young example. Flint was called a lonely old man. Kirk was a lonely young man. It's just an example of that. And they were doing the same thing. Yeah? So that's the eternal love triangle, i.e., the triangle issue. In normal development, the baby gets his needs met, then he can leave the mother and not use the father as a substitute for the mother and try to get the needs that they needed with the mother through the father. The father cannot breastfeed. The father can't do that kind of stuff. The father represents learning new things in the world outside like that. You can't use the father to do what the mother should have done kind of thing. So, and he's getting a lot of blame for this. He can't do it kind of thing. The best the father can do is, hopefully minimize the abuse the baby's receiving from the mother, like protect the baby a little bit. But he can't force his wife to love the baby. He can maybe make things come more, give the child some hope or something that it won't be that bad or something. And maybe the child can get some encouragement that the father, protected the child somehow. But he still didn't get, if he didn't get the needs with the mother, he can't get it with the father. Now this eternal triangle stuff, mess, is going to be transferred all through life like that, in their relationship, in their marriages. So there's a continuous mess for 10,000 years. So we're homotromicus. So that's the episode of that's the Star Trek episode, Requiem, like the music at the funeral, right? The episode is standing in for the music, and the funeral is we kind of lost 10,000 years of having our soul. So let's have a requiem for the loss of feeling real and alive for the past 10,000 years. Okay, requiem for Methuselah. So Methuselah is just some story somebody made up a long ago for code for this. Like a storyteller wanted to um, give you a symbol of this psychology. So they made up some guy, they called him Methuselah or something, and they said he lived for 1,000 years or whatever it was, 1,000 years. It's not real. There was no guy in the past who lived for 1,000 years. Come on, okay? There's no physical human that lived for 1,000 years. And that's people are not getting this. Why do some people believe that? Um, no, it's just a symbol. Storytellers were psychologists, and psychology was taught using tales and stories and parables and symbols and metaphors, analogies, because it's invisible. You need symbols that you see, but they're not real, but they point to something invisible inside that's real. So the idea of this guy that lived for 1,000 years, that's a symbol, that's code for the timelessness, and that there is such a thing as timelessness, you know. So he represents timelessness. Put it that way. So they just said 1,000 years or whatever it was, um, like 1 1 0 0. Whatever, is that right? Or whatever it was. And this Mr. Flint guy, he was all of these famous people throughout history. So he was Einstein, and then he was Beethoven, then he was Mozart, and he was all these famous people throughout history like that. He just um, uh, not literally, they just made a symbol or the idea that man has been in existence for 10,000 years in our traumatized form. So we've been around for 200,000 years, but in our traumatized form, we've been around for 10 or 6,000 years. They say 6,000 years. So Requiem, okay, play the music for all of us not living with our soul for the past 10,000 years, or Homo Traumicus. Requiem for this this timeless, this 10,000 years of suffering, of losing our soul. He represented like the suffering, right? The suffering, humanity suffering. Methuselah means humanity suffering for 6,000 years. Requiem for humanity suffering for 6,000 years, right? So and you even see Spock playing a musical on the piano. Spock's on the piano playing a requiem, because the guy used to be Brahms or Mozart who had the requiem. He was playing a requiem literally in this episode. Spock was playing the piano, the requiem, okay, the requiem for humanity's pain and suffering of being traumatized for the past 10,000 years. Why are we traumatized? Okay, that's a good question. I try to tackle it. I've tried to tackle that question about a year ago, 2725, part three of three. It's a 7.5 hour video entitled "The 48 Symptoms of Homo Traumicus." We accidentally traumatize ourselves when we went into this panic to go from village to pillage due to the mismanagement of our discoveries. We freaked out, panicked, suffered the baby, removed the cord from the baby. It all began, I think, when we removed the cord from the baby, and we're still doing it to this very day. To this very day, Spock is playing the piano in the background. We're still in this. We're still murdering our baby souls, and that's why I was very emotional in the last video about how I think every woman should bring a Doberman pinscher into the delivery room and train the dog. Tell the dog, if the doctor tries to sever the cord, dog, you charge at him, bite him if you have to, like prevent the the plunder system, the pillage system, to traumatize the baby, to perpetuate and turn your baby into a flying monkey to pillage and make poverty into pillage and destroy the planet for a quick buck. Stop this nonsense. We've been doing it for 10,000 years ago. The cord's got to stay. The cord, the placenta, okay, they link him to the mother. They're the bridge to the mother. You remove that bridge. Where's his mother? The cord and the placenta, they're alive. They're pulsating, thumping, blood, oxygen, nutrients to the placenta, to the mother, placenta, cord, baby. It's all going on like a system like this. Indigenous, traditional people have said it for thousands of years. You don't mess with that. You leave it alone. Leave it alone. Give the baby some time. Come on. Give the baby, have some feeling for the poor, helpless baby. Give him some time to get used to the transition from the water world to the land world. Give him some time for this, for Pete's sake. He's in a water world, right? You suddenly He has this birth. He goes through this terrifying birth experience. He might have been hurt even during the birthing experience. And then you're going to take away his mother after he's been traumatized during the delivery time. Then take away his mother as well. You're you're making the worst thing much worse when you do that. So whatever takes place, leave the cord, leave the placenta, hand the baby to the bosom, then you're okay, skin to skin, and that whole area. But the gynecologist says, well, I don't remember that that was done to me, so since I don't remember that was done to me, I'm going to do it to you. And he does it again and again because he doesn't remember it was done to him. It's hard to remember that, right? That's what Yanof kept talking about as well. So ideally, the father would step in and say, no, gynecologist, you don't traumatize my baby in the name of pillage and plunder. I want my baby to have a soul. I want it to be happy. I want it to be embodied. I want it to be who he's meant to be. The Great Spirit gave him a uniqueness to shine his light and to be happy. I have pleasure to see my child being happy. You don't turn him into a stone monkey, like a flying monkey, so you can use them as a pawn in your pillage and plunder and create poverty and plunder the planet. You don't use them as part of this mechanism of the homo trauma pillage system. We got to get back to village, get back to our natural state of affairs. Now, the father's usually out of it. He doesn't have a clue what's going on, right? That's why I was saying in the last video, the mother should bring a Doberman pinscher and train the dog. Okay, dog. Okay, when the guy pulls out, gently guides out the baby, and he's reaching for slippers or whatever. He's gonna remove the baby. You charge at him, okay, and then hubby, okay. Now that the cruelty is taken care of, kind of thing. Gently hand the baby to me. Place him on the bosom. You can do that, hubby. You can place the baby gently, softly, tenderly. Place him on the bosom. Okay, and just put him near me. I'll hold the baby, place him near the nipple. He'll look around, look for the nipple. All is good. Paradise is maintained. Babies need an extended paradise, Okay, the babies need the oneness of the mother's got to continue. There was a huge intimacy between the baby and the mother and the uterus, the fusion like that. That fusional thing continues with the intimacy of the physical warmth of the body to body, natural feeding, and a loving gaze and warm embrace and skin to skin. So you don't wash anything. Don't take away the hormones. The mother produces hormones for this. So don't wash the hormones. Leave the smells. Leave the mark. Whatever. Leave the core. Leave the placenta. What's the big deal? Just leave it all. Let follow nature. Just do it naturally. So hand the baby directly to the bosom. Okay, and there's no excuse to remove the baby. There's never any real excuse. Even in the 1 in a million chance the baby needs an operation, still leave the cord and the placenta and operate while the baby's on the mother's belly. Use the mother's belly as the table or something. At least the baby has the continuous support and connection. The mother's there. So he has the memory that while he was operating on, mother was there, mother was there, mother was there. Give him that experience if he's got to suffer an operation at birth or something. So even in that 1 in a million chance, there's no excuse to remove the cord and the placenta. You know. Hold on a sec. Let me do this perspiration management. Let's see if we can bring up another song here. Hold on a sec. Oh, the battery's out. Oh, look at that. Oh, son of a gun. Oh, my phone's not accepting the battery again. Okay. I think the music part's going to have to be delayed. My old phone's playing the usual automatic shutdown thing. I missed. I wish I could get a new one of these. But it's the Honor 8S. They don't make these anymore. This was an amazing phone. Um, I don't know how many times I've dropped it. It's still fine. Dust, wind, beach, uh, drizzle, whatever. It's never fallen totally into the water. That might have caused a problem. But otherwise, it's been a great little phone. Oh, okay. It's rebooted on me. Let's Can we do another little song here? Um, okay, let's bring up the playlist here. Let's see. And Shell. And Shell by sorry, a band named And Shell. Here's one of their songs called Hayfield. How about that one? Are we getting it? Hold on a sec. Let's try again. Okay, And Shell from Switzerland.
Waves of sorrows are crashing down. They pull me deep down